As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of the Quranic Lens show, where I read a surah, you read a surah, and then we come here to exchange our thoughts. We will go through 4 parts: a snapshot of the surah, an ayah spotlight, a life takeaway, and finally, some extra gems that I promise you don't want to miss. Today, we're reflecting on Surah An-Nas. Let's go. Surah An-Nas is the 114th and the last surah of the Qur'an. Before anything else, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces himself in 3 powerful ways. Allah is the one who takes care of you with the word Rabb, the only one that has authority over you with the word Malik, and the only one who deserves your complete devotion with the word Ilah. And this shows why he alone is deserving and the only one who is truly qualified to answer your calls for protection. But for protection from what? The surah shifts and talks about the unseen battle of your inner world. No physical harm, no enemies. It's your thoughts, your impulses, your direction. It teaches evil often enters quietly. It feels like it's your own voice. It operates through repetition. And most importantly, not every thought is yours. This verse was really interesting for me. It's the last verse of the surah, min al-jinnati wan-nas, from among jinns and humankind. And this verse is really powerful because it completely shifts the way we understand the word Shaytan. We often think about Shaytan as a specific being or a certain creature, but that ayah expands this idea. It shows that Shaytan is not just a creature, but a role, a behavior, a characteristic, and anyone or anything that whispers, misguide, plants doubts, or pulls you away from truth, that is acting in a role of a shaitan. And there is people that are here just for the purpose of purely misguiding others. And I've seen it in my own life. And like that, the surah became clear. We seek protection from Allah. From who? From any whispering influence. And that influence can come from anywhere. A simple practice from this surah is whenever there is a negative or disturbing thought that appears, stop and seek refuge in Allah immediately. Say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. And then redirect your focus to something more positive or meaningful. But here's the real question. How often we actually do it in our daily lives? Like, I hear it all the time. I hear it everywhere. Always. Say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. But this is how much we do it. How much we actually do it in our daily lives. How often are we truly aware of the remembrance of Allah and the presence of the enemy? Like, whenever there is this negative thought in my mind, I remember that Allah is here and He can protect me from that. And there is a certain creature, a companion that follows me everywhere and wants to take every single chance to blows and whispers his ideas, his bad ideas into my heart, just to pull me away from Allah. How often do we actually live in that mindset and be conscious of that? So this surah is not just teaching you what to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Not only that, but also it teaches you to stay conscious of what is surrounding you, that you can be influenced at any time. The first thing that we know is that this surah was regularly recited by the Prophet ﷺ for protection, and especially during the morning and the evening with the adhkar. It's his sunnah. Second point, it's like a small remark that I noticed and I want to share it with you. You know, the beginning of the Qur'an, we start with Surah Al-Fatiha, and Surah Al-Fatiha, it's about guidance, guide us. And then from Surah Al-Fatiha all the way to the last surah of the Qur'an, Surah An-Nas, it's about protection. Protect us. And here we can notice that guidance is useless without protection. Yes, you want to be guided, you want to find the path, but you also want to keep yourself on this path and to be protected, to not deviate from the path. This surah reveals something that even modern psychology doesn't fully address. Not all thoughts originate from you. There are three possible sources. Nafs, which is your own desires, which is like you, basically you. Then we have Shaytan, through whispers. And then we have external influences, like media or people, environment in general. And again, like we said, this surah trains awareness of all of these things. Now, I want you to pay attention to these deep linguistic insights. The surah does not say the whispers go to the mind. Instead, it says the whispers go into the chest. الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس, which means emotions before logic, feelings before decisions. And that's why you can know that this thing is wrong, but you still feel like you're pulled towards it. And that's why one of the biggest lessons is don't act based purely on emotions. That's literally our weak point that Shaytan attacks us through. And that brings us to the end of this episode on Surah An-Nas. Subscribe to stay tuned for the next episode where we will talk about Surah Al-Falaq and break down the special relationship it has with Surah An-Nas. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.